What's up, everybody? This video is actually for my clients at the gym. If anybody else gets anything out of it, that's awesome. As you can tell, I'm a little sweaty. I just got done doing cardio and legs at the gym this morning. And my new schedule is, I'm trying to get up about 6:30 every day, start with my workout, unless it's Monday and I have to go into work real early. And start my day with my workout, with some reflection time, and trying to get my mind right. And that's kind of been something that I've been really working on. If you don't have kind of a routine in the morning, I suggest you get one because, I read a lot of mindset stuff, a lot of motivational stuff, and I study a lot of very successful people. And one of the main key factors that most people have for success is the fact that they kind of have a routine and they start their day the same way every single day. And so I wanted to try to obviously adapt that into my life, because if it works, for huge athletes who are extremely successful and extremely talented at what they do, and movie stars and writers and politicians and all that stuff, then it is a good habit that I think I should get into as well. So with that being said, what I wanted to talk to you guys today was about what really got my butt in the gym, and what really the turning point was. And, for me with fitness is, a lot of people are like, oh, you've done it your whole life. But in all actuality, one of the reasons that I work out is because my family is very obese. So if you guys don't know that about me, my mom and my brother are overweight to the point where my mother's had gastric bypass surgery. It's the one where they make your stomach really, really small so you can't eat very much. She weighed over 300 pounds and she's about 5'2". So that she was a big old broad. She's down 100 pounds now, still not anywhere near where she wants to be. But again, I've watched her suffer through back problems, knee problems, foot problems, all these problems, and it's all these different terminologies and everything else. But at the end of the day, it stems from one thing, and that's being overweight. Period. End of story. Your body is not supposed to carry that much weight on its frame. It will break down. As a matter of fact, last night I got a call from my mom about 9 p.m. as I was about to lay down to go to bed, and my brother was rushed to the ER because his back gave out and he can't walk. And he's 27. Yeah, he's 27, almost 28 years old. And they're saying sciatica and all this stuff. And ultimately all that is and he's had this problem since he was a kid, where his back will just give out. And the reason is very simple, is you can give it this disease name or that disease name or whatever, but at the end of the day, the cause of it is he's holding so much weight on his frame that his spine is actually condensed onto those nerves, and it's sending burning pain down both of the back of his legs to the point where he can't stand up. And the reason he has that is because he's morbidly obese. It is not because of any other reason. And one of the things, when I went to college and I first competed in bodybuilding, everyone was like, oh, well, you must have really good genetics and you must be this and be that. And then I showed them pictures of my family and I was like, fuck that. Genetics will get you so far. All genetics tell you, like, for people who want to blame genetics, let me explain what genetics do. Where your lats tie into your low back, that's genetic. How long your legs are, how long your torso is, that's genetic. You being in shape or obese is not genetic, okay? It is a matter of getting off your ass and deciding whether or not you want to not be obese or you want to be fit. And for me, I always wanted to be the shining example to my family that I don't care what anybody says, we are not, like, our genetics are not obese. And so I got down to 4%. I won my first bodybuilding show. I took the overall, and that was something, and I was natural doing it. And that was something that I was very, very proud of, and it meant something to me for my family. And then all this was solidified last year when we went to Chicago and we got to go see Martin Rooney. And if you don't know who Martin Rooney is, he's kind of one of the most motivational people on the planet. Now, his YouTube stuff and his online stuff that you find is nothing compared to what you have to pay him for, obviously, because that's how most good people work, right? Like, if you don't pay for something, they're not going to give you their best stuff. But I'll tell you what, you sit with that guy for 2 days and he makes you want to move mountains. But I think the story, he's a great storyteller as well. And my favorite story that he told the entire weekend during that certification was what he called the $1 billion question. And ultimately what it meant was, what he said was, if I give you $1 billion today and I hand you a briefcase with $1 billion in cash and I said, here you go. For those of you who don't know what $1 billion means, that's pretty much wealth, beyond you, your kids, your grandkids, and their grandkids, and their grandkids will have money forever. You will be set in life. You will never have to work again. But he said, here's the trick, is you die tomorrow. And how many people still want the briefcase? And out of the room of about 100 people that were in it, nobody raised their hand, right? And the point was, what's the point of having $1 billion if you're going to die the next day? Like, that's kind of pointless. But the point of his story, well, if tomorrow's worth $1 billion to you, then why are you not living that way? Why are you not living like today is worth that kind of money because you woke up this morning? And ultimately, he then related it to health and wellness. And he said, if a day is worth $1 billion to you, what's 10 years worth? What's making that conscious decision to eat right every day, to exercise, to get stronger, to work on your mobility, to work on your strength, to work on your agility, to work on all those things, to give yourself a better quality of life? What's that worth to you? And it's days like today when I wake up and I hear about my brother having to do all this stuff and might be having to have back surgery at the age of 27 because he's obese to the point of debilitation. That's, what's that worth? Is that worth a gym membership? Is that worth training with somebody who knows they're going to keep you safe and is going to help you on track and keep you nutritionally involved and make sure that you're eating right and that you're exercising and that you're showing up to the gym and that you're making that effort to make your quality of life better? What is that worth to you? And I want you to really sit down and ask that, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I can't afford a gym membership, or I can't afford this. Bullshit. We find ways to do it. Right? If there's something that needs to get done, people find a way to do it. It is period, end of story. People always find a way to truly do what they really want to do. And ultimately, for me, I made a decision a long time ago that what I wanted to do was be healthy, and I wanted to have a great quality of life, and that I wanted to never have to go through some of these debilitating problems that come with being overweight and obese, because I've literally watched it rip apart the two people in this world that I care about the most. And I hope you guys take a minute to truly sit back and ask yourself, what is my health and wellness worth? How much money am I willing to invest in myself to not only maybe add years to my life, but of those years, how many of them are going to be quality of life years? And how many of them am I going to be able to move around? And when I'm older, am I going to be able to run with my grandkids or my kids, and to play with my family, and to go to events and not have to look for the first chair to sit down at, and to do things without having to worry if my body can handle it? And ultimately, for me, that's a priceless thing. And I devote so much of my time and so much of my life to making sure that I get that not only for myself, but for everybody I meet, because I want everybody I meet to understand that they can do it and that they are worth the investment in themselves. Because the alternative, I promise you right now, with the pain that he's going through and with all the heartache and the loneliness and the depression that I've seen my mother go through, if I told him that you could save all of that for a mere price of a gym membership, for a mere price of working with somebody who wanted to help you nutritionally, who wanted to be your personal trainer, and who wanted to see you succeed, there wouldn't be a price tag you could put on that. And you never realize it until it's too late. So I wanted to, for my challengers, this is your last week. If you end up not staying on, I truly understand, I do. But ultimately, I want you to really think about the investment that you're making in yourself, and is it worth it? Is it worth it for the quality of life that I want to live, not just today, but when I'm older and when I retire, and for my kids? What do I want? And is it worth it for me to invest in myself? And I really want you to think about that before you move on and go back to your old ways and get back into that slump, because ultimately My goal and honestly my mission in life is to truly change everybody that I meet, is to change their life for the better. And I don't care whether it's just a tiny little bit or if it's even just a smile in the day. One of my goals in my life is to change lives with everybody I meet and to make their life a little bit better. So I hope you have a great rest of the week. I hope you enjoy your day today. Let's finish this challenge strong. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.